Welcome to the next episode of the Explain series with the host, Dr. Bret Palmer. And this episode is going to be circumcision, a change of view. Now, why do I need to have a change of view on circumcision? Didn't I know my mind beforehand? Well, circumcision is an emotive subject, and a lot of people get very, very worked up about it. They're either the pro-circumcision lobby, which believe every male should be circumcised at birth, and then you've got the anti-circumcision lobby, which believes no one should be circumcised, sometimes not even for medical reasons as well. So I do get a lot of stick on any video I do for circumcision. I've been accused of proliferating Western attitudes to circumcision, and these people which have a go at me about circumcision tend not to realise that I'm a genitourinary medical doctor, which means I'm not a surgeon. I don't actually perform any circumcision, and so if I refer someone to circumcision, it's purely for medical reasons. Previously in other videos I've said with circumcision there's no real change in individuals' genitals. You just have a missing foreskin and you just carry on with life. Now I've had a lot of individuals tell me that they've had circumcision and lots of things have changed, usually for the worst. I've also had a few people, not as many as the ones who've had a bad experience, and I've had a few people come to me and say they've had a circumcision and it's been a positive experience or a no change experience. The reason why I've changed my mind though is not actually because I've had those sorts of feedback. That's just allowed me to think about it a bit more, is because while I've previously said a circumcision results in no change in, for example, sensitivity, I then say in other videos for people who are highly sensitive to retract the foreskin, to allow air to get to the head of the penis and to wash the penis just with water, don't use any soap, to help desensitize it. And with time, that air time for the head of the penis and also for contact with water helps toughen up the skin, and that reduces sensitivity. Well, if I'm advising that to reduce sensitivity, then obviously a circumcision should, as it toughens up the head of the penis, should also reduce sensitivity. And so that is why I've had a change of mind. In terms of who should get a circumcision, I've always been clear on this, and maybe I was a bit more relaxed in terms of people who have a circumcision for religious purposes, and I suppose on that side of things I have toughened up a little bit, and that is no one should really have a circumcision. It doesn't matter what your religious beliefs are, it doesn't matter what your background is, unless it is medically indicated. In terms of individuals who say, well, hang on a minute, a circumcision is more healthier for you, it reduces cancer rates. Well, yes, there is evidence out there that if you have a circumcision at birth, it can reduce certain cancer rates, but circumcisions from later on in childhood or teen years and adult years, it doesn't actually change cancer rates whatsoever. And actually, it doesn't matter if you're circumcised or uncircumcised. Probably a more important factor is actually basic hygiene. That's also very, very important. In terms of circumcision reduces the chances of getting STIs on a population level. So if you take a population of say 10 million and you circumcise some of the males and don't circumcise the other another group of males, then yes, you will notice a difference in STI rates, but unfortunately this comes down to the ecological fallacy. What applies to the population doesn't apply to the individual. And so if an individual is only having one or two partners in their life and they go and get a sexual health check before they embark on a relationship, then they are at very low risk of STIs. And it doesn't matter if someone's got a foreskin or has had it removed, if they go and have lots of sex with different individuals and very rarely get checked out, they're going to have a high chance or a high propensity for sexually transmitted infections. And so what applies to a population doesn't actually apply to the individual. And that's very important. That's called the ecological fallacy. And so that's why when you have recommendations from the World Health Organization and the CDC to say that men should go for voluntary circumcision, I would disagree with that. I think that's actually bad advice, and I would stick with the British government advice to say that voluntary male circumcision actually holds no evidence, because for the individual, it depends on the individual risk factors, and it's the ecological fallacy that's coming into play. That is my personal opinion on male circumcision. So there you go, a change of opinion, bit of a change of heart, and there are my views, and I'm sure you'll come up with your own views and comments in the comment section below. Either way, I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.